touch on the aspect of the depreciation of our currency, which is Naira, and also its impact on the healthcare sector. The Nigerian pharmaceutical industry now, as at current, is facing a significant challenges due to the rising cost of drugs, which is directly associated with the depreciation of the nation's currency. And in doing so, it is forcing the importers and also the local manufacturers out of business, because due to the rapid depreciation of our currency, so a lot of things are rising in prices. There is a price hike, and unfortunately many medicines for our common ailments are no longer available, and very few are accessible to most Nigerians. And this is a very sad situation, and we need to focus on this issue more. Something has to be done, because if you look at the depreciation value of the Naira to the dollar, coupled with sky high inflation that is disturbing the country, disturbing the nation, this has led to a very sharp increase in the cost of the importation of some active pharmaceutical ingredients and APIs, and also the importation and manufacturing of finished products at the consumer level. So a common man in our country cannot even enjoy the basic aspect of life. A common man doesn't have good roads, nor does he have electricity. There is high cost of living, and now even at the minimum, access to a good healthcare system doesn't seem to be likely anymore. So this is very sad, and this is something that we need to have a look at, because we cannot be moving like this anymore. Something has to change. We all need to make a stand, and let our voices be heard. Because at this instance now, currently, Nigeria is rated by the World Health Organization, which is WHO, as one of the 8 countries in the world with an extremely exceptionally exorbitant drug prices. So the only time we are ranked higher is if it is of something that is extremely embarrassing. We don't seem to be aiming higher at any developed aspect, any aspect of nation building. We tend to come at the last. But when it's something that is embarrassing, we tend to be at the forefront. This is very sad. We need to do something. Something needs to be done about this. If the government are appointing people that are incapable of executing their job, those people shouldn't be put in that place anymore. It doesn't matter whether someone is aligned with you or no. If he is not capable, he or she, whatever they call themselves, if they cannot execute the task given to them, entrusted to them, they shouldn't be in that position anymore. It should be taken away from them. Because how can the cost of pharmaceutical drugs in Nigeria reach an increase by over 100%? 100%. And in doing so, causing the patients to return home without their prescriptions. Because most of these people we are talking about, most of this segment or this percentage of people we are talking about, they are people that live in extreme poverty, multidimensional poverty. There are people that cannot even afford to feed themselves. And now they can access medicine also to take care of themselves. This wickedness, this inhumane activity is reaching a new level. We can't be operating at this. We have to, something needs to be done, you know. There has to be change, a rapid and massive change. You know, and it should be at the soonest. Because this is very embarrassing. The common prices of paracetamol, chemotherapeutic treatments, antimalarials, antibiotics, and antihistamines, antihypertensives, antidiabetics, and other medications have risen by at least 200 to 800%. The cost of these antibiotics have risen, and all this medical treatment has risen by 200 to 800%. So common man can no longer afford these medicines. And not just that, this issue is also undermining local medicine makers, our in-house pharmaceuticals. They are facing a lot of changes because most of them rely on imported raw materials to make these medications. Because of most of the materials is not sourced in-house, most of them are imported. So with the high prices of this dollar and rapid depreciation of our Naira, it also affects the importation prices. You know, no longer afford to import these raw materials in order to manufacture these products. Because it's common sense. Your expenditure is directly proportional to your prices. It determines your prices of the prices of your products. And our country, Nigeria, which relies on imports for almost 70% of its medicine needs, is in the course of facing the worst, to be frank, if immediate action is not taken. The government have to take an emergency action. Something needs to be done rapidly as soon as possible to tackle this worst case scenario. Because if you look at some of the medications, you know, that are very affordable by a common man, is no longer affordable. Example like Ampiclox, another GSK product that was formerly priced between just 500 and 1,000 per sachet. I want you to listen to this very carefully. Ampiclox, that was formerly priced between 500 and 1,000 Naira per sachet, is now priced at 10,000 to 20,000 per sachet, depending on the location, depending on your geographical location around Nigeria. Something that was priced around 500 is now 10,000 at the minimum. 10,000 naira. How many households in Nigeria have the income of 10,000? Forget individual, a household that is even having the 10,000 income gross, monthly gross of 10,000 naira income. How many households? So they cannot even afford to feed themselves. How can they afford to buy medication? And there's another life-saving drug, the Ventolin inhaler, which is utilized in treating the asthma attacks. It is now totally out of supply. And sadly, if we check a few months ago, the Ventolin inhaler was sold at around 1,600 naira. But now, there is a price hike also. Adding to the fact that it is out of stock anymore, there is no supply, and there is almost 100% price hike. Also, many Nigerians can no longer afford regular paracetamol, common paracetamol medication. Most of our citizens can no longer afford such medication. Because a packet of paracetamol used to be at the range of 15 naira as of last year, that's a year ago. Now it costs around 200 to 300 naira, depending on the location and also the brand, respectively. So we have to look at these factors, How do we expect our nation to be in a better place, or rather at a better place, while these inhumane factors and challenges keep ripping our country apart? And apart from these also unfortunate events, there is also, I don't understand some people. There are some people that always hope, they are hoping for the worst in order to capitalize on people's afflictions. Because some of the importers also, they are not helping matters. Because some of them, they continue selling old stock at unreasonable prices. They already stocked they already stocked products that are there for a very long time in their inventory. But now that things are getting out of hand, they are also selling those old stocks that they purchased at a lower price. And now they are selling them at a higher price, at a higher cost, which is unreasonable. It's okay to have 10, 20, up to 50% profit. But to hike something up to 200, 800% is inhumane, So these things also are not helping matters. They're not helping anybody. So the government have to work with our local manufacturers. Since with 70% of our product source is imported, so it is very clear that we can afford manufacture this product in-house entirely. Whether we like it or not, we have to import these materials. So the government should work with our local manufacturers, whether it is in the form of subsidization, or in the form of empowerment or anything relief, or injecting funds. Do something that will bring relief on this issue. The government should at least make this dollar accessible to this sector. As much as possible, and also at a very, very lower prices. They should subsidize the prices just for them, because this is a very important sector. The health sector is extremely important. If our citizens can no longer enjoy the benefit of standard living, a healthy standard living, there is no income, they can't enjoy the benefit of education. How can they not also enjoy the benefit of healthcare, normal, affordable healthcare in their own country? Because let's face it, we all know how bad the healthcare is as it stands. Because most of the people that have something to do with this, we know when there's something wrong with them, or they are sick, or some issues like that, something related to sickness or anything, they always fly out of the country to seek for medical health, to seek for medical care somewhere around the world. So why can't you support your nation? Why can't you at least boost some of the nation's parastatals? Even if it is to a minimum standard, at least start somewhere. It is very unfortunate, it is very sad waking up to this unfortunate event and very sad news. And I feel the need, I feel the urge to speak about it. And I urge everyone that has a voice, whether be it on social media, in the community, in the government, they should also not just keep quiet. They should be highlighting these issues. Let us put more pressure, let us put more emphasis, and bring more scrutiny to this issue. We have to uplift our citizens and our nation from these trenches that are holding it back. Something needs to be done, and needs to be done as soon as possible, quickly. So with this, I have come to the end of today's podcast. Thank you very much.